see here. Right. Next. There's DLC to this? Oh man, this song rocks. Woo! Oh man, this is better than the other Ace Attorney. Wait, no. They still had a good amount of stuff. Ah, that guitar solo. Come on, feel that rhythm. This is gonna be so much fun. Gonna dig into his rhythm. It is really funky right now. I'm out there to get lucky. I don't know how to do some. I don't know how the goes. I'm just dancing along here. It's time to just get funky. Oh, okay. And revving it up here. Hello, this is Dry Oasis. I'm your host. And these are my two co-hosts, Kirby and Sterlix. Say hello, Kirby and Sterlix. Hiya. And right now, I'm getting down and funky with this Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Hey there, Skull Crusher. Right now, I'm streaming this game right here, Ace Attorney Investigations collection. And man, this has been a long time running for me. So I've got into the Ace Attorney series when it came out like 2004, 2005, around that area. So I played most of the games that have came out for this series. All of the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, the crossover, the Great Ace Attorney games, and even one of these, Ace Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. But the thing that I've never done is actually gone through and played the second game in this series, not even the fan translation, so that is the one that got away from me for at least like 13 years, so hopefully I can finally end this once and for all. It's time for Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Alright, I need to see the options or whatever. Go for that, go for that. A Ring soundtrack? No, that's hype. Ooh, HD or pixel art? I guess I'll go with HD for now. Hopefully it doesn't bother me too much. Whew. That's going to be interesting to hear. All right. I guess it will take place where everything takes place. Turnabout trigger, really? Captive turnabout. It used to be imprisoned. Turnabout Legacy? Inherited Turnabout was so much better. Turnabout Forsaken? It should have been Forgotten Turnabout or whatever. Turnabout for the Ages? That I can get down with. It's gonna be a Turnabout for the Ages when I play that. But yeah, let's get on with it. With Turnabout Visitor after this quick commercial break. Listening to music. Alright. Start from the episode. Loading a chess piece. Yeah. New sound. Ah, cute. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Question mark. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Tell me why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough. But a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. And here's to spoiling our villain again. And that was just weird. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. Man, who stays up this late to go to the prosecutor's office building thing? And there he is. It's hard to believe I've been away from my office for a whole month. Buddy, you've been away from your office for at least more than over a month. Get over it. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? How can you smell blood, Edgeworth? Have you been to a crime scene before? Where's the switch? What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. A gunman! Oh, I didn't think this would happen. Identify yourself. Question mark. Shut up. Oh, hold on a moment. No, I don't mind that. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. And hold on while I... Is that a threat? Question mark. Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Question. ... My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I'm a defense attorney. I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. But we don't talk about those right now. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. Okay, making sure. Dot 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 dot. Dot 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 dot. Hold on a moment. Pretty sure it's arranged. Feels like the same still. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. And this game for us, please. Please investigate. Please finish the game. Please finish the game. Please finish the game. I still have another game in the series I have to continue on with, but I don't know what it was. Oh, right, Apollo Justice. Man, there's so many games that I need to complete. Yes, sir. Ah! And here's the man of the hour. Ta-da! I miss you, buddy. In your... Dang, he actually looks good with that HD upgrade. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. What are you talking about? There's no one here around this time of the day. It's like 2:04 a.m. or whatever. Nobody really cares that we're shouting this loud. Look at that guy go with his little forensic stuff. Pet, 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 pet. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. For the time being? What are you talking about? You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ah! Look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprits sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with trucking mud in my office. Oh, whoa! Sounds like you're getting really bummed over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. I'm pretty sure there's a word for that, but I don't know what it is. Oh ho! That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. Ah, love this variation. Hey, hello. I'm a little bit happier than I was a few days ago. Yeah. But this is really... But honestly, I'm really happy about this game in particular. Been waiting for this certain collection to come out in a while. Especially the second game in this collection. Prosecutor's Gambit. Not to mention, funky music. So I'll keep any leads or information. Whoops, I think I forgot what then gosh. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we etched in the forefront of my mind. I have to stop doing this. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yes, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office. For security reasons, this office door has a lock built into it. Oh, I do? Huh, strange. Connection issue? Oh, right. Let's see here. Wait, is it happening right now or something? Darn it. I thought I fixed everything. Oh, right. If it's about the router thing, it's somehow not really much noticeable for the Nintendo Switch, but it's really for the PS5 and Xbox Series X or whatever. I'm not too sure, but I got an idea for later on, but I'm not going to reveal that just yet. So, what do you mean, sir? What is with this funky music and my little eyebrows? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? Detective Gumshoe? Do you... What? How... Gumshoe, how long have you been on the force? How come you've never used logic before? How did you get this job? What? Oh, poor my head. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So, how do you use logic? Gumshoe, again, you're on the police force. I thought you were better than this. Did you not go to high school or anything? How did you get this job? There are so many questions that I have for you, big boy. First, I recall the information we've gathered with L. Then I connect them together with X. Now to use L and recall the facts. But I'm pressing the R button does nothing. Sir, I think you mean to use L. Darn it. R still not working. Sir, I'm pretty sure it's L. Even I have logic. But can you use it? Oh boy. You're right, Mr. Edriff. I'm sorry. Whoa! Oh, okay, that's new. Doing things my way. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. As well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing the leads together, the logic should flow. Free flow. Well, let's get started together with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Begin investigation. Hi, Prosecutor's Office, room 10202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. When I want to examine something, I simply use A when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use X, okay? I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Ulti Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Princess Peach, spin-offs, not sequels, like Princess Peach, Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Oldie Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, gives its presence. You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. I'll never admit that I'm a fanboy. I must run away. Darn it, I can't run away. Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not just a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Oh boy. Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. That killer is going to pay this tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. Costs much more than your whole month's paycheck. Ouch. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Get ready to hear that a lot. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky dink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It appeared that our victim was a detective just like you. Let's see here. There's some blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Bullet went clean through the abdomen. The body was found around 2:05 a.m. Are you going to keep okay with tracking? Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know how to keep track of it all. Right, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profile on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelf so tight that not even an earthquake could make all of them fly. Not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the files The rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. Detective, watch what you say about earthquakes. Problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back on the shelf. I'm even gonna read them? Okay. Your files all over the floor, sir. Probably fell during the struggle between the victim and the killer. This killer. My files are a mess, pointing to a circle between the victim and the killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. We just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. Hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe. No, I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us have time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. What do we have here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergency, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the one used by this precinct's detectives. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. You know, to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Maybe? The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to or recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, this guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. It is assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what we can find about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use R to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use L and R to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Whoa, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about we're going to find out. We should send the body to Atta. Jim! Ouch! Ouch! Hey, pal. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone. Please let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk to him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a bloodstained suit, pal. What are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jack Waits Portman, prosecutor. Jim was my partner in crime busting. I'm Alice Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. My prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner at the office has the key to his or her own office door. Why didn't you say them, pal? I don't know. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Ho ho ho. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometime. You're one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call it a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? Pleasure to work with you. You guys are conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carrying on then. It's your room after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir? Alright. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner Jim. I should probably give them some space. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when that killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they shot through it? Would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked over, detective. I wonder there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I think you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound just like him. Wow, subtle, Miles. Subtle. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my own way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Maybe here? Maybe here? I don't get it. Ah, this is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point it out with my cursor at it and press X with conviction. When I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? Ah, that was a smooth transition. You mean there's a smooth criminal in here, sir? Ah, never mind. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary, my dear Wilson. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. But hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Does the killer have another gun, perhaps for this, prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe in here, or I'd kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now? Nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I inspected every nook and cranny, just like from Animal Crossing. Oh, this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a little bit too clean? Hey, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Would you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone left a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with this information we have. Puzzle pieces. This thanks. I believe I figured out what the murder was after. Well, what is it, sir? fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. There is a possibility that the files played on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like could it be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Right, yes, sir. I'm gonna shelf files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? But only the good die young. Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba ba. Only the good die young. Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba 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 da. Surely you must have pondered that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so, what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to the rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, that book goes there. You sure know about where things go despite it being Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal, okay? Done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Ugh, this blood stain on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints of the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But I do. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. Well, what do you mean, sir? You don't see it? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. The victim was shot in the stomach. The hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. That means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means that you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You put them back... You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you seem here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. This white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. Or from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was moved? You finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. Please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet holes now where it logically should be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. Then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. Then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man, then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. Files were thrown in disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. This. What is that? It does say Gumshoe on there in blood. I see that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait! There's got to be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. His most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope that you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words. You're more than enough, wouldn't you say? That's how you wanted to play it. Then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it, pal. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. There must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Detective, you've been in a courthouse so many times. Why do you need to ask me? Mr. Portsman, you've already. Aw, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir. Ah, this is new. Argument. Mr. Portsman, logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gum from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of that bookshelf. Hey there, Gideon expert. playing a bit of, well, just worth investigations. Or at least part one of this duology. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be his final words that you will be brought to justice. Doing good for some parts. You tend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's words, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? Yeah. A little bit here and there. I've been dealing with some kind of cold-like symptoms and some internet stuff for the last month or so probably trying to figure out that situation still, but the Nintendo Switch isn't a huge problem when it comes to connection, so it should still be fine for now. Anyways, there's no way Detective Gumshoe is a culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's... How has been my stream? Let's see here. So far, so good right now. It's just been a matter of like big streams, probably the consoles themselves. Not sure if the network has anything to do with it, really. Gonna try it all later on, maybe. And expose it with credible evidence. Why not incredible evidence? Let's see here. About 8 months or so, maybe a little bit more. Ever since last October. I think it's just been really the heat out. Maybe the heat? I don't know. Sometimes it's in the summer, it gets really hot. Rebuttal. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective. Well, what about this? Currently affiliates. I swear to gosh. I probably know what you're going to ask. And now is not the time. Yardy! Objection! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Heh, bringing on a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Probably in the future. Excuse me? I thought a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. Oh my god, this is new. Ah, man, but this so rocks. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. Ha ha ha. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer wanted to take that file after murdering your partner, I hardly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters on the spines. Yari! It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. Missing letters in that detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H. Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case. I hardly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Oh, got him. Yeah. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it worth a criminal intent of tampering with the crime scene. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. After all, we had the Olympics in Paris this year after all. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. But everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. And I'm wanted, dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? Hey, that would be me. But Mr. Hunter, just to prove that I'm innocent, pal. Woo! That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Why do I sense you still have something to say? Check out my bling. Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with the key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir? What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? Lady? That girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, step, pal, don't. Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's a disco man, all right. Wow! I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch night. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. By it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. Thank you for the follow, UGSC 25 BAM. What? What? If you're not the guilty party, if you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. All right. Right. Oops. Right. Thank you for the check-in from TLC. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I was refused to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. Yeah. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Look at me from my jacket. I'm a Olympic gold hero, like Kurt Angle. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck around in your room using that master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. And for the gold. So you're saying she used the master key. This can open every office door. Its use is controlled by security staff. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman is to get... It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Alright. And for now, this is where I'm gonna end things. I definitely need to check upon working with other overlays and working with the other overlays and so on, so I'll keep that in mind. So yeah, this has been Dry Oasis. I've been your host, and these have been my two co-hosts, Kirby and Sirlex. Say goodbye, Kirby and Sirlex. Bye. And as always, you can follow me. Yep. And let's see what I can work with. 281 followers. All right, let's... One moment. All right. Alright, so TLC time, so let me check it out. Let's see here. Then while I make sure things are nice, tiny. Okay. Right, that game came out, looks like so. That's right. Oh. One moment while I do this. Oh yeah. Right. Let's see here. All right. And I will, let's see here. For those watching, I hope that you've had a great day, and if not, I hope the rest of your day is better, or tomorrow is better for you. And see you later. Bye-bye.